Okay, so if you're feeling pretty good with the forwards 3-beat weave, we can go ahead and try to do the backwards 3-beat weave. Once again, please make sure you know how to do a backwards 2-beat weave before trying to do a backwards 3-beat weave. This is a backwards 2-beat, and it looks a little bit different than, say, this, which is a forwards 2-beat. The main difference with the backwards 3-beat weave from the forwards 3-beat weave is a couple things. Instead of leading with our thumb over, under, across, we're going to be leading with our pinky. And so it's more of like a scooping motion. That's how I like to think of it. And so instead of doing the over, under, down, we're going to be coming, so down, over, up. Down, over, up, down, over, up. And it's a little bit awkward even for me standing here trying to do the arm motions without the flags. It's because of that kind of weird pinky thing that we're doing. And you kind of have to roll your hand as you come each time. So it's a little bit awkward. But what I would suggest doing just to get the arm motions down for now is just coming from down. Just don't even worry about what your hands are doing. Down, over, up and across. Down, over, up. Down, over, up. And that's the basic move for the 3-beat backwards weave. So forwards, we're going kind of over, under, down. Backwards, we're going to go down, over, up and across. So everything is backwards, which makes sense. So once again, we can practice the arm motion on each side, coming down, over, and up. Once you have that down, grab a flag. I always start with my dominant hand, so I'm going to start with my right hand. And instead of holding it kind of forwards like you would for a 2-beat weave, so down at your side, leading with your thumb is usually how you would hold it. I would suggest just turning your hand around for practice purposes. When you're spinning, you would actually have to do something to get that hand turned. But here we can just kind of turn your hand. So if you're standing sideways and your thumb is facing forwards, you're just going to turn it out. So forwards and away. So now your thumb is backwards. And you're going to stick the flag kind of right there, holding it between your fingers and your thumb. And we're going to go into a 2-beat weave backwards. So leading with the pinky, you're going to swoop up and down. And then we're going to do what we did before with sticking one arm out and doing the over, under, across. So I'm going to go facing you guys first. So stick that hand out. We're just doing a 2-beat weave still. And then put it underneath your arm because this is going to be your start position. Normally our start position is over the arm first, but we're going to start underneath. So make sure you get the arm over and you're coming under with each 2-beat weave. And now we're going to go under, over, across. So under, over, across, under, over, across, under, over, across. And you're going to notice that once again folding on top of itself. If you are not getting that folding, you're not doing it quite right. So make sure that it's starting to wrap on itself. And let's go ahead and do this from this side so you can see again. So we're starting underneath. We're going to go under, over, down, under, over, down, under, over, down, under, over, down. And what I tend to feel like I do with flags that you can't get away with hoops, you really have to lead with your pinky when you're dealing with a hoop. But here you can almost just kind of pinch the fabric, and keeping your hand nice and tight, you can kind of just manipulate it down and around without having to truly go leading with the pinky. You're just kind of leading with the inside of your palm, which I think can be a little bit easier. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show the under, over, across in slow motion a few times, and then practice that with both arms, and then we'll try doing it all together.
wicked and weird things are going manifest.
Okay, so you've practiced under, over, and across, the backwards 3-beat weave on each side individually. Now we can put them together. Once again, I suggest starting in a 2-beat weave. So we're going to start with a backwards 2-beat weave. Once again, if you feel like it, you can just kind of, instead of doing your normal hand position, turning your thumbs out. So you're leading with the pinky. Your weighted edge is still in front of you here. So we're like here. And we're going to go into that backwards 2-beat weave, and then we will transfer into the 3-beat weave once you feel comfortable. So we're going to go ahead, backwards 2-beat. Remember, we're going to be starting with the underneath arm, so I'm going to be starting with my green flag, which is my left arm. It's going underneath my yellow. And we're going to come under, over, across, under, over, across. And that is the backwards 3-beat. Once again, if you have a hard time figuring that out, try to slow your flags down as much as you can and over-exaggerate the following flag. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do some slow-mo in different angles once again. Hopefully you find that helpful. If you have any questions about the forwards or backwards 3-beat weave, go ahead and shoot me a message here on YouTube. Also feel free to ask me about other tutorials and other tips and tricks when it comes to flagging or hoops. If you want to get your own pair of spin flags, go ahead and check out Spin Flag Poi on Etsy. I have a discount code below if you would like one. That's where I get all my spin flags, and Allie is wonderful, and I know she would love to make you your own custom pair for festival season. Happy spinning!
With the liquid sword. Show shock of all. It's a brutal lyrics when need a big one. Show shock of all. It's a brutal lyrics when need a pink wood. and where things are one manifest. Life where we live is like a game of chess. Make the wrong move and you end up in a mess. Life then would be worthless. Yes. Make the wrong move and you end up in a mess. Yes, 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 yes.